Welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the delays. The results are in. We're going to clear up the confusion for you right now. This will be a tiebreaker round, or the semi-final, if you will. Now, the rules did state originally that the grand final following this one would be a best of three, but due to time constraints, we're going to bump that one down to a best of one. So just to clear it up, the current match you are watching is the semi-final, or the tiebreaker round between Fission and Fusion. And following this, the winner will go ahead and play Negative Synergy in the grand final in the best of one map format. Whew. We are back. Fission versus Fusion. A huge welcome again to Skimmy and Starving in the caster's seat. Boys, we're back.
Yep, well, it's going to be a tongue twister, really. Like you said, Fission versus Fusion. So definitely you're going to have that slurring and slipping and slapping going all over the show. But the lyrical genius next to me, the play-by-play master himself, Starving, he's going to have no problems doing that. Absolutely, whatever.
Absolutely. I learned from the best. If you've ever watched past streams of mine and, paired up with people and casters like Disc and Curve and that sort of thing, you know that I got a big blow-up Eminem poster on my wall. So, he's always watching over us. I'm sure he's watching over Skimmy as well. So these tongue twisters, Eminem's got our back on that one. So it's big Fission and big Fusion. And we're going to be seeing some big plays out of them, just waiting for them to ready up here.
Yeah, well, Fusion, it's going to be looking like they're going to be kicking this one off. And we expect to see pretty much the standard bands like we've seen before. Actually, Fission, taking away Garden Terror. Look, I'm already stuttering. And these are the simple words, Starving.
Yeah, these are the simple words. So wait till you get to the web weavers. That's the hard one. So Fusion banning out Dragonshy. Pretty gutted we haven't got to see a Dragonshy today. And Fission banning out their first map of Garden Terror. So, it's going to be interesting to see what map they're left with this. Sky Temple being banned out. That's no longer a choice. And we have seen a game played on that today. Only one, I believe. So no chances of that today. Maybe we'll see a PvE orientated map.
Yeah, I'd like to see something slightly different from what we've seen today, be it the Infernal Shrines and Sky Temple. Sky Temple's been taken away. Blackheart's Bane, no surprises there. Wouldn't it be interesting, Starving, if Tales of Doom made it all the way through, just to tilt the players themselves?
Yeah, possibly, but it'll be a first for today, of course. One thing as well is we aren't seeing, we haven't seen any teams play on it yet, so maybe some teams, that could be a way for you to get a one-up on your opponent. Don't ban out Tales of Doom and you find yourself in it. Before you know it, you're fighting on there.
Well, given it's a best of one with a best, teams might decide to try and utilize those cheesy strats they've tested once or twice and thought, hey, team, I've got a brilliant idea. Just trust me.
Yeah.
And
because it is best of one, it means that they don't have a chance to come back.
We're getting closer, Starving.
Yeah,
Tales
exactly.
of Doom is still there. Are they playing on our emotions?
Yeah.
Or is it going to get banned away next? 19 seconds decides. Oh,
Infernal Shrines!
Infernal Shrines or Tales of Doom. Don't play with our hearts, boys. Come on.
Yeah.
Give us the Tales of Doom.
Come on.
Give us the 32 shots in one go and give us those montage plays to load up to YouTube to make the cash monies.
yeah, indeed. So also something I wanted to talk about as well, just real briefly, if you want any of your games, you want them recorded and whatnot, just hit us up and, Skimmy or Starving. We may even end up recasting those games that haven't been here today, just for a bit of fun,
Why not? All for the players, all for the community.
All for the children. Yeah,
Bless the children. And Fusion are going to kick this one off this time. They did opt for the Infernal Shrine, so no excitement for today, but we're going to see a lot of Bow Wow Wow with the John Cena making his presence known once again. First pick, first ban for Fusion. Now, lots of different avenues they can pursue with this one. I'd like to see them just take away 11 straight away.
Yeah, Illidan's such a strong ban, but they are actually going to be banning out Abathur. So why do you think they banned out Abathur?
This is definitely towards the demise, I'd have to say. Just to even jump in before your question even finishes, mate. I just know what you're going to say. And demise and the boys from Fission say, we don't want Zul. We've seen what it did last game. We realized how Sharper was playing that one. And Fission say, cool, we'll grab Kel'Thas.
Yeah, and such a strong first pick. We talked about this a lot in the first game, and it's going to reign true through to the second game. And for any game Kel'Thas is picked up on Infernal Shrines, is going to be a pretty hard one to contest those punishes over Skimmy.
He's much better than Li Ming on this map, given the fact that his Flame Strike and Living Bomb actually does work.
Yeah.
Compared to what Li Ming can offer with the Arcane Orbs and the old Magic Missiles,
Yeah, the Magic
Missiles. You're trying to do that poke, you're just trying to be that annoyance. but all those skeletons by the shrine is going to block that. But, you know, Fission say, cool, we like Thrall and we like Tassadar, so that's what we're going to take away. They're actually opting for that as opposed to the Sonya.
Well, you know what, Skimmy? We talked about this a lot as well, and Thrall is just such a strong character with that follow through. Coming in with the shields as well from Tassadar, being able to restore health per hit. You know, Thrall is no stranger to the self-healing, so it's going to add on to that and be that much more devastating.
I almost feel the reason they've gone for this one is because it gives them a lot more engagement tools to go on towards the kill fast. Now, a Sonya will grapple on in, try to make things happen, but if she gets knocked up, she's kind of in the middle of the ocean without a paddle, thinking, help. So, you know, Thrall with that engagement, be it from the Feral Spirit or with the Sundering, just going to say, Kel'Thas, you're on the side, you're ours.
Yep, and Fusion's response to what your comment was, Skimmy, with that, you know, running with the Wolf, they're going to be like, you know what, anti-Wolf, we're going to get the Joanna. She's going to be the front line that stops all that from happening. And with that Condemn, the pull in from Joanna, that's really going to slow down the momentum of Team Fission if they try and run into these face-first fights. So it's going to be interesting to see how well that works out for them. Of course, if the Thrall doesn't play it very well, he might find himself getting all his damage negated by the blind and block being picked up by Joanna sometimes.
Yes, I mean, Fusion looking just to try and utilize the globals by taking up the Falstad there. Actually predicted it before he even got chosen because I am the prophet. I am Medivh, reincarnated, as they would say. But, you know, Joanna and Kel'Thas really looking to try and bring a lot of wave clear. We saw how much work it did last time. You know, you got those two different ideas. Do you want to punch on or do you want to look to try and get XP by pushing in the waves? And, you know, a great map to push the waves in with.
Yeah, and we saw it last game, Skimmy, with that wave clear. It was just massive. So the hovering over the Rhaegar, what this allows them to do is get that Earthbind Totem out with the Lightning Shield build, being able to get themselves a lot more skulls. And it makes your Joanna as well quite scary.
And I'd actually argue that Rhaegar is one of the best picks on this map for the reason it can get Lightning Bond at level 1, which means that's 2 Lightning Shields between 2 players. That means that it can just absolutely destroy these shrines. And those skulls, they're gone.
And especially with the Joanna bringing all those targets closer together, you're going to be dealing a lot of damage very quickly to those infernal shrines. So, you know, they're going into their time pool pretty soon, even further. 9 seconds remaining for the side of Fusion on their time pool. So I don't think they want to dabble into that too hard. They're just looking for their second ban here. What would you think would be a smart ban for them on this side here?
I feel as if on this side, they're going to either go for, say, the Muradin as another dive target that can go with the Thrall, or even potentially the Greymane. But, you know, right now, the hovering Li Ming, they still value that Wizard. And they're going to run it down to the wire, it seems. They want to say 5 seconds on that clock, like you mentioned before. They finally do lock it in. But, you know, you can see a bit of a common denominator here. Global presence is just so good. Falsehood was taken away. They lock it in straight away. The bread, the butter, etc. Tehran. That's a stun after a stun.
If you like bread and butter, you certainly like those 3 characters right there. Tassadar, Tehran, and etc. They're going to be such a powerhouse and such an annoyance in this game, Skimmy. And I mean, every time I see that double pseudo support, I just get so frightened, especially when I'm playing myself and you're playing a hero like Kel'Thas. You get 1 stun, you get 2 stun. Guess what, Skimmy? You're dead.
That's it, indeed. And I mean, we're looking at this one. Fusion really running it close now. I mean, they have absolutely no time at all starting to lock this one, and they just instantly lock the Sylvanas and give themselves a bit of breathing room. 25 seconds left to go now. What do they opt for? I'm feeling that they need a melee of some sort. You know, Sonya is still available, but look at this starving Illidan. What is with these Illidan last picks?
I really don't know how Illidan would fit into their team comp here, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, you know, the immolation at level 1 that you can pick up with Illidan may help with the further clear, might also help with the split pushing capability if he chose to pick up the ultimate, the hunt.
They lock it in.
Wow. Yeah, they locked it in. That's pretty interesting. And especially because they have a Sylvanas as well. I've been doing a lot of thinking on Sylvanas, and of course she is strong. The Wailing Arrow being such a good ultimate can really slow down the team fight and really turn it in your favor. But, you know, compared to some other, some other range DPS, she may fall short a wee bit. But hovering over Kerrigan or Zeratul, this could be so interesting. I'd really like to see a Zeratul, but more so even a Kerrigan. It's been a while since I've seen a Kerrigan, but a couple hovers here trying to make their mind up. They have 60 seconds to make their mind up here.
It'll be very interesting if they were to go for the Sonya as well and just run that double, even triple frontline composition, go straight into Illidan and say, what are you going to do, mate? Because you can't kill us. You're going to have to try and kill the Tassadar. Nope, you can't get him. So you're going to have to try and kill the Tehran. And if you've got all that peel, all that damage, he's going to have a bit of a bit of a job, really, trying to get up in that grill. So, you know, Fusion here, very interesting draft, like you said. I mean, I'm just trying to sort of imagine the scenarios as to how these fights go down for them.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think they'd want to pick up a wizard here. It would make their backline very vulnerable. Maybe like a Jaina could serve some purpose, but yeah, no, it doesn't look like that. But Arthur's actually being hovered as well, so this could be a potentially very nice picker. It makes their front line very beefy. A lot of damage could come out of Arthur's potentially as well with that Death Coil build that we so commonly see in Quick Match. But they're still deciding, and they do actually lock in with the Sonya. So like Skimmy said, going to be so strong against the Illidan, waiting for the evasion to drop and just coming in with those seismic slams.
I think Arthas could have had a good position in that sort of fight there, but I mean, I think they're a bit concerned of if they had enough damage to try and reach that backline. Would they have an easy enough time getting to the Sylvanas and Kel'Thas? By the time they'd taken out Illidan, would they have died or would they have been, say, so battered? So they've gone for the Sonya, and this is, once again, another great pick to go against Illidan. So if his evasion is down, well, he's going to go down because he's just not going to be able to sustain through all that damage. And once it gets all amped up, this gives him a lot of wave clear to really punch on with these Infernal Shrines. So both team comps are being locked in starving. As always, what comp do you prefer?
I would really have to say on the side of Fission, I am liking it a whole lot. I mean, I do think they do have the damage to punch through their front line, even pressure Illidan off the front line, and then that's when they move past Joanna onto the back. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do here, Skimmy, but yeah, I would definitely have to say my money's on them. But, you know, we're going to be getting invited into the game here. Looks like we're almost underway. Such exciting times coming. This, of course, is the semi-finals of the Ember Series Week 1. And, oh, man, what a day it's been, guys. I just want to comment again. Thank you for tuning in. If you've been here all night, you know, waiting patiently through the errors and here and there, we just, you know, we couldn't be happier with the response here.
So before we jump into this game, and we've had your prediction that you want to go for Fission, I'm thinking Fusion just because I like to see these Illidan comps work. It's just so satisfying because it's just so make or break. But Kit Fox, you're hanging pretty, you're hanging tight. What is going on in Twitch right now?
Oh, hanging long, losing full of juice, mate. You know how it is. Word on the street is that Fission are going to come out with a win, but they're also expecting a big game from the former Plantronics MVP winner Moops from Fusion, rather. This is going to be one corker of a game. This is the semi-final, ladies and gentlemen, the tiebreaker, if you will. The winner of this will go on to play Negative Synergy for shot at the 50 big ones. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Skimmy and Starving on the Gamestah Heroes of the Storm Ember Series. It's all yours, boys.
Thanks for that one, Kev Fox. And we're just waiting for the last two members of this game to ready on up so we can get this action in the mix. I mean, Starving. I mean, look at this one, mate. It's going to be a cracker. I mean, we're just waiting for these teams to ready up. But, you know, I just keep talking about this comp. I mean, okay, Fusion, how they engage this one. You know, Joanna's going to try and get up in the mix. She's going to try and punch on a little bit too far. And then they're going to try and chuck at that damage to sustain, be it from the Kel'Thas and with the Illidan. I'm just curious to see how they coordinate it. You know, do they go for the falling sword potentially?
Yeah, I was thinking that myself.
And do they try and dive on that backline and just take out a squish instantly, just try and negate completely what the Sonya and Frau can do?
Well, I mean, if you jump onto the backline and kill the Tessadine to run, do you really take out most of the threat of Team Fission is what you got to ask yourself there, Skimmy. So while you're doing that, you know, they're diving on your backline could spell doom for them.
Well, on the left-hand side, it is going to be Chop playing Tyrande, Lahal playing Tessadar, Demise on Frau, New on ETC, and it's going to be Revolve to solve on Sonya.
And on the right-hand side, we do have Fusion. We see Moops playing Joanna, the frontline tank. Hux once again playing Rhaegar that we did see him before. We do see as well Nick the Mick playing Sylvanas, IY on Kel'Thas, and Big James playing the Illidan that we were having such a big conversation over about before. And we're going to be kicking things off here, Skimmy.
We are. Let's have a look. Level 1, it's how we like to break things down. We like to see what people are doing, if there are any interesting picks as a result. So, you know, instantly we see Colossal Totem picked up by the Rhaegar, really allowing it to do a lot more slow in a bigger area, bigger range, really. And this definitely has to be a way of them trying to slow down this melee-centric comp from Fission.
Of course, and I mean, what sort of comments do you have on the Kel'Thas's talents being picked up so far? What do you think we'll expect out of him?
Usually you go for the Arcane Barrier, but the fact he's gone for this just allows him to have a little bit more damage as well as lane sustain. So he's got a lot of faith in his team, it would seem. But, you know, this is a result of that mind games. We mentioned it already. Sylvanas goes straight in the mix. She goes straight for the tower with the team. They pick up a tower for free, and the rotation's just not there. But Hux, he's just going on a bit of a wild chest.
Now, I mean, I was about to comment on how he's about to get picked out, but what he did there was actually quite clever. They're chasing nothing right now, actually, Skimmy. So Fission, you know, they got pulled away from a bit of a defense there. Sylvanas managed to get a bit of damage onto those structures.
He's still running away, Starving. Look at this. The stun comes out from Chop, but it doesn't hit. The Lunar Flare, well, it goes everywhere. And look at this. The Ancient Spear connects Revolve to solve. He's trying to solve the riddle of this one. Can you catch the Rhaegar? The Owl comes across. Thrall dies. SM Orcs up in the chat right now because they're making the plays whether they're dead or alive.
Yeah, well, I mean, they actually paid off for them very, very much so. They got a bit of wave clear off. They do as well, I would say, have quite an advantage when it comes to wave clear, Skimmy. So not exactly a situation you want to be putting yourself, but Huck's up into the top lane by himself, mate. Look like he's going to get caught out. Yes, does get dropped by that stun from Chop and the follow-up from Revolve to solve with that spear. And of course, the power slide is going to spell death for good old Hucks there.
Fusion, they're just saying, we don't care if you go on a, say, wild goose chase for a Rhaegar because we're just going to push in your structures. Really, look at them. They found themselves a 1-level lead right now. They've taken out 1 tower in the top. They've taken out 2 in the bot. And, well, Fission are just trying to really pick up the pieces.
Yeah, and I mean, with this much wave clear, Skimmy, it's just a really scary situation to be in. You don't want to be, responding reactively, of course, can really mess up your momentum in the game. So the first shrine is activating now. It's the Arcane Punisher. There's a bit of a scrap going on as well. They're coming saying, come here, let me scrap ya. Nick Mick getting taken out of the fight. He's going to go tap the well nice and quickly. Sylvanas, of course. And Revolve to solve from the top lane, trying to get their talents here back onto the equal playing field.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be too long until they hit level 4, but it's a sizable lead so early on. I mean, the skulls are pretty even right now. The stuns come out on towards James. James, oh god, look at this. I mean, this is James' bread and butter. This is what he's known for in ANZ, but it's not known for when he dies like this because he's dropping so low.
Oh,
he's down to 60 health. He might just live. Oh god, the healing comes across. Clutch plays if I've ever seen it, Starving. I'm doing play-by-play because I'm getting buzzed out by this. What is going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting taken very low. Moop's already sub 10% health, but regenerating very nicely from the healing from Hux. And, oh, man, so low. I do like that they actually got out of there as well. I think a few members on the side of Team Fusion can actually tap well. Yes, that's 2 of them, Hux and Moops. So they are going to be able to get back in there. And Skimmy, we said before, a lot of wave clear potential for the side of Team Fusion. So this could be their Punisher, and it is the Arcane Punisher, arguably the strongest of the lot.
This is down to the wire, Starving. 25 to 25, 26 to 27. I feel like I'm calling out bingo numbers right now because it's just going down here everywhere. Revolve to solve up in the mix. Got the Tesla shield. New with the hugest power slide I've ever seen comes across, and they find the Rhaegar again. It's just up in the mix just a little bit too often, and that might be the falling piece that gets them the very first Punisher.
Yeah, that pick definitely got them the Punisher there, but I don't think that Team Fusion were going to get there, even despite having that wave clear. The positioning of Fission, their aggressive nature as well. It really, put a sort of a stance on that Punisher there. So I'm very glad they managed to pick themselves that up. They are now going to test that, and Yu is coming in. Nice power slide combo coming out. IY cannot do anything about that with his minimal mana, and that is a very nice pick. And look at that. Over the wall, the goat men are just saying, how's that going?
That has taken out the well when they're doing some cheeky plays. They're just sniping, and that's a strat we see quite often, but not from the PvE element. And James might come in just enough time to really distract them. It's going to be enough in the case here, but that level lead, I mean, it's pretty much closed up now. And we saw the ETC power slide come across with a Tyrande. That's your bread and butter. That is the combo. And that's what the stun CC meta really was for quite a while.
Yeah, and I mean, grab themselves their hard camp at the top lanes. Sonya, of course, soloing that and as well soaking the XP up the top. And it actually looks like Fission's coming out on top of the XP at the moment. So going in their favor, they don't want to get too far behind. James is soaking the bot lane very nicely. So
look how aggressive they're playing, Starving. Look at this new posture right here. He spots Moops walk on by. They're only level 7, but 3 members are just waiting. And look at this. Neck to neck comes across. Huck once again pounces on in. He's got the shield. Moops is going to face it. Not the target they want to go for. Power slide comes across.
Massive double stun coming out from the big spear coming out onto Hux here. Chopper's in a bit of danger though. Ghost Wolf going to be popped soon, reducing those basic cooldowns, and Hux taking so much damage already out of the fight. That is 1 down for the side of Team Fusion, and now they are going to contest this easy camp. So I think it'll be smart if Team Fusion did actually back off from this. They do of course have the cow that can power slide. Gravity Lat's being popped as well. He's so low that power slides away from there in the nick of time. Healing coming out onto New as well. Chain healing and shield as well. Stun coming out onto Joanna. Moops taking the whole run to the force, and another shield coming out. So much clutch plays by New and just holding that together.
Oh my god, Revolve to solve. He's just doing it all. Seismic slam going smack, 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 and he finds the kills. And I mean, really starving, no ETC. I mean, that cow just juking in and out, saying, can you milk this? Well, you can't because I've got a shield. Now I've got a bit of a heal. Now I'm coming back at you. And he's just leading from the front as a tank does.
Yeah, I really like that confidence coming out of ETC. They're really got to pay a bit of kudos to him there, a couple of dollars. Maybe even the $50 if he was to win it for his team there. But, you know, going to have to wait and see on that one. Revolve to solve, going into the thicket of it and getting himself 7 skulls already with the mines up and the frozen Punisher there.
Now, with that play, Fission find themselves with a slight lead. It's not much at this stage, but both teams have just hit level 9. And, wow, look at that Sylvanas caught in the mid lane. Tried to do a cheeky push on our own, but the bread and butter, the new and chop, come across with the CC and say, we alone.
Look at this, Skimmy actually
looking
runs
for
here.
more.
And IY actually getting stunned here from the combo coming out from Sylvanas and the ETC, but it is not enough. It's a bit of CC coming out from IY just before he got stunned and actually stopped that.
Imagine if they had Mosh Pit starving. I mean, how different would that fight have been? And I'm actually just going to have a quick look here. The talent's coming out from IY. He's looking like he's going for this more Flame Strike oriented build. We've seen a little bit off as a result of that Sun King Fury talent being nerfed. So I'm interested to see how much value this gets out because he is going up in the most optimal situation for it up against a melee centric team.
Yeah, and now the Frost Punisher, of course, does come out. There may be a bit of an engage here. Level 10 has been picked up for the side of Fission, so this could be going very, very well indeed. Fusion got level 10. IY has already been ancestral healed. He does need to back off, so that's one ultimate down. Now both teams are level 10. They need to be a bit more careful. The Frozen Punisher, of course, going to be pushing in that top lane, and look at what Fission are doing. They're following up. Hux is in a bit of a bad situation. He actually gets speared, coming through with a nice thundering, and look at this! This is massive! A lot of CC coming out of this could spell a team right almost there, getting 2 kills. Moops is by himself, and unfortunately Tassadar goes down as well. No phase shift to save him today.
Wow, that Sundering starving, it just did so much with the stuns. It's just ridiculous. They're just coming out here, there, and everywhere. They're not finished that yet. Look at the body blocking, but the iron's is just going to be enough. As that Frozen Orb was just going to come across and say, more kills.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like Sylvanas played it a bit risky there. You know, they knew they were 1 down, and she kind of just, she didn't walk away. I saw her, she's standing still there. She looks
stage dive starving.
Yeah, that's stage
I
dive.
mean, you know, ETC is really known for the fact that he has Mosh Pit. Oh, is he going to pop it now? It's that mind game. Is he going to pop it now? He's up in my face. Is he going to pop it now? And, you know, the fact he's gone for stage dive, they got a lot of value that time around him.
So why pick stage dive over Mosh Pit?
I think really they're just trying to, like we said, just trying to ignore that Illidan and just jump that backline. And you saw they took out Kel'Thas, especially because he's not got an Arcane Barrier, he's just that much more susceptible. If the Ancestral doesn't come in time, if they manage to burst him just that much quicker than the heal can come out, then, you know, the fight is pretty much done.
Yeah, definitely. So, especially if you're stage diving into the backline, you're power sliding throughout the whole team, you can't really go wrong. So 2 easy camps being picked up, maybe another bit of a tussle here. Nice jump in by New. This is the 2nd time he's done the stage dive. Might need to be used to get out of there. He is getting dropped so low. There it goes. Nice damage coming out here, and a Revolve to solve coming in a deep. And oh my lord, Fusion are getting dropped so low. A couple players, notably Rhaegar, actually Illidan and Joanna already been dropped out, and ETC for the side of Fission as well. So the fight is going in the favour of Team Fission.
Yeah, I mean, the fight, they just basically fought on 2 AoE ultimates the whole time, both the Starfall and the Phoenix. The one notable thing to see here is Nick the Mick that whole time actually never popped the Wailing Arrow. I mean, it's still in his possession, and
you gotta wonder.
In those kind of situations, I really feel as if Fission are just going to win just passively because they have a stronger sort of bruiser skirmish comp. And you know, like I said, if Kel'Thas gets taken out, you know, there's not much that he can really, or the rest of the team can do. So I mean, Illidan's he's left onto his own devices. The Ancestral's just not there, and well, it allows Fission to snowball their lead just that much more further.
Oh, once more, Skimmy. Look at this. The aggression coming out of Fission here, going for this easy cam once more. New actually going onto IY. Power Slayer not being used. Stun coming out from Taran. Nice cleanse coming out of IY. Ancestral Healing may even come out as well. Beautiful. Calling it like a god. But, you know, these players very onto it as well. James going on into Myers here, but it's a bit of a 3v2. And a nice sci-fi wall actually comes out there from the sci-fi character himself.
Fission is really respecting what their win conditions are. They know, just take out Kel'Thas. It doesn't matter what's going on the map. I mean, the Shrine was active that entire time, but they hate Kel'Thas is there. We might as well kill him. And they did a great job at it. But, you know, the Ancestral, just in the nick of time, it would have been screaming over those comms like, I'm not true!
Yeah. Exactly, though. A lot of confidence and a lot of good comms there. That's when you need your Turtle Beach tune-ins. I can just imagine, I've got you! So, yeah, beautiful there. But we do see 17 skulls for the side of Fission. They're feeling pretty confident about this to leave with off the salt down to the bottom. Yu is going to rotate to the top and maybe a wee little fight will come out. Chop jumping into the back line. Chain Lightning being popped out. Sundering going to be popped soon. Surely follow up as well.
Wow.
Going to be blowing up that Illidan. No evasion available to him. Mook's going to be jumping out. Stage dive now. Here he comes. A lot of damage coming out. Wailing Arrow being used solely on the ETC. A bit of a waste, but it did actually keep him alive. So,
I would actually debate that being a waste. I mean, sure, it debates. It prevents them from really fighting any further, but I mean, it prevents them from doing the power style, which would allow the rest of the team to chase up and potentially find more kills. But I mean, the confidence to leave. Sonya in the bot lane, look, she left it at 39 because they want to try and get as much value out of it as possible. But that really started from Fusion going to the top side, trying to force that aggression. They wanted to play proactively rather than reactively. But Illidan once again just a little bit too aggressive. Stun came out and got killed.
Yeah, just such a strong character, of course. But without that evasion available, you are going to get blown up by melees, so you need to be very careful about that.
Beautiful, look at this.
Beautiful.
Fission take up the camp in the top side now, getting as much value out of this as possible. They realize that Fusion are on 15. What can you do? You don't need to waste this, and I just love the composure coming out of Fission right now.
Yeah, I have to agree more. I couldn't agree more, sorry, Skimmy. So they are going to be trying to pick up this easy camp once more. Mooks is in the front line. Demise just picks up their Mortar Punisher now. What not better time to pick up this easy camp? I really like this play. And of course, Skimmy did harp on just before about how their hard camp is pushing the top lane as well. So the amount of pressure coming out on Team Fission right now. If they can delay this fight, as long as they can delay it, they are going to get a lot of work out of this. So they don't necessarily have to fight, just pressure.
They're about to hit level 16 though. So I mean, if this Mortar Punisher gets a good jump, it's going to spell doom for them right now. They're already pretty low. James is coming in the flank, trying to scout out where the CTC comes across. Because he's pushing in through mid. He's trying to actually be a split pusher, and rightfully so. I mean, he's on the stage dive, so why the hell not?
Yeah, exactly. So the hard camp's continuing to push the top. Easy camp in the mid. The good old Goatman and the Mortar Punisher in the bot lane. Jump might be coming out soon, trying to drop that wall. They are going to be trying to jump into the back, and here we go. Might see a fight. Sundering surely going to be coming out soon if they're looking for this kill. Mook's getting dropped so low. That Mortar Punisher just absolutely doing work, but they do hold their ultimates there. Wrath and Berserker actually being popped from the vault to solve, but on such a short cooldown scheme, you can't really go wrong.
Why not? I mean, you can just get that seed. John, you're just going to push on through it, but that goes the entry in towards this keep. Still got ETC pushing mid with a full healthy wave, and he's playing it very patiently at the back off because the mini wave is no longer there to support them with this siege keep, and Illidan finds himself in the mid lane now, finally responding to it.
Yeah, and the hard camp has actually disappeared at top as well. It's been killed, I guess you could say. So they're going to be feeling pretty confident about that now. Everything's kind of leveled itself out. Now they can try and get their foothold back into this game. But the whole story of this game, New and Chop sitting around waiting for these picks. And Nick the Mick, please don't get picked. Oh, that actually rhymes too well. And look, New, he's going for another kill. And look at this, it could actually be another kill. Wow, that damage stuff will being popped as well. New coming in, stage dive and already being popped. But no, Chop actually getting taken now. Oh my lord, did you see that stun going out onto James? Absolutely massive, preempting the Metamorphosis. And he's actually still alive. Chop going up against Moops. And my god, Moops are gone. Oh, that was massive.
Down to 20 health, Starving. Down to 20 health. The absolute trust. And the composure and just the faith in his team just to execute that play, phenomenal. And that whole time, Starving, still not 16. I mean,
I don't know if you saw this coming, but a Metamorphosis came out from that Illidan and a preemptive stun actually coming out from the Tyrande actually establishing that kill. So I couldn't get more hype about that if I tried. Probably going to lose my voice in about 30 minutes if I don't look after myself. But level 18 for the side of Fission has certainly got a level advantage. Talent tier now being picked up for the side of Fusion, so they may be feeling a bit more comfortable to fight now. I believe this Punisher, Skimmy, would be the Arcane Punisher. We did see it first up, so it's probably going to be the one coming up now.
Well, we're starting to reach those later stages of the game now. This is when Illidan and Kel'Thas are going to start to shine. So this is the make or break situation for them, really. Before level 20 is hit, they're going to lose that window to fight.
Yeah, and you don't want that. So level 20, as soon as that's picked up, they are so many levels behind. It's going to be so hard for them to fight for a wee while. And I'm sure that Team Fission are very, very aware of that. And I mean, these two names, they're going to be very, very tricked out. But of course, these two are like brothers. I mean, there was a bit of beam at the start. They both want to win. They both want their $50. And, they both want those EVPs. It's kind of like a war against their own team in a weird way.
It really is. I mean, look at this. It's still ETC split pushing. He's picked up the Echo Pedal there at 16 to actually benefit from that even further. He might even just find himself a keep on his own, but the Metamorphosis comes out as it looks like Fusion are trying to force the fight.
Oh, a massive bang. Sundari coming out as well. Stage Dive coming out from the ETC. One pick onto the side of Kalthas, already spelling very bad for Team Fusion. And look at James already so low as well. A Metamorphosis on CD, 100 seconds. Hux actually leaping to Hux and stun coming out onto Illidan. He is certainly going to go down. Moops not Ambu. Oh, what is going on here? Lahal having a bit of a 1v1 with Moops, and they might get another kill. And a bit of funny chat going on there between the two teams, but definitely hidden from you, all you viewers there, probably for good reason, but are looking to take another fort now. Revolt to solve demise, New and Lahal rolling on in here at the top lane to get in. Chop still going.
Him. Look at this, Moops running away, and they got Chop on base duty with the owl coming across. It'd be very funny if Moops finds his kill.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cheeky kill, let's be honest. Just kind of delaying, and that's the only tank for the side of Fusion as well, so it's a bit tragic that they have to do this. Chop's getting taken down pretty low.
Oh, the shrink ray
that
comes out.
Oh my lord! Oh, nice unstoppable being popped as well. They're probably
He's going for the kill.
They're probably going to be able to get this kill, let's be honest. Chop's getting blocked by his teammate Laha. Actually manages to get himself a kill, so they're having a bit of a 1v1. Not fair is called out by Joanna, but there's no fear in heroes.
He wanted the 1v1, and the 1v1 he didn't get. Chop was just toying with him, and they find themselves to keep amongst all that chaos. Level 20 is now being picked up for them, and I mean, looking at some of these talent starving once again, I mean, No Escape was picked up by Sonya. That gives her more movement speed at the risk of losing a bit more, say, durability, but they don't need durability at this stage. They just need to get on somebody. They need to jump on towards that KO fast, just stay up in his face, and just really apply the pressure, because he's being punished for not taking Arcane Barrier.
He's being punished, or I don't know who's coming onto the field. It's going to be none other than the Punisher himself, flat ban. So he's going to be coming out. John Cena seeking a vengeance. You can't see me, he says, but look at the size of him. Surely you can see him there. News down here, actually distracting two players. Wailing arrow being popped. Can he get the easy kick? Oh my lord, he gets it! Ooh. So at stage times out of there.
That's MVP right there.
MVP.
New with the play.
Steals
the cat, gets the 2v1, and gets out with his life. Have you ever seen bigger plays?
Yeah, and look at this. This could potentially spell GG. Kalthas actually getting picked off once again by Demise with the Bolt of the Storm, coming out with a follow-through. And oh my, the Punisher is absolutely doing work. Arcane Punisher knows no bounds. Ancestral healing on James at the last point, going to keep him in the fight. Metamorphosis already been popped for him, but a bit too much damage has already been laid out to James. And the 3v1 at the backline there certainly is going to spell doom from him. And wow, the building is still alive. The main building, 42%, going down 35, 30, 25. Are they going to be able to get this? Nick the Vic, can he stop it? No, he cannot, and that spells GG. GG, well played, being called out by Team Fusion and Fission. And Fission take the game.
Wow. What a game. What a series. I mean, I'm just stuck really on words to sort of describe that. We saw so many good plays. It's going to be really hard to try and break this one down as to who exactly was the MVP. I mean, we already spoke about that last play from ETC. ETC, in my personal favorite, because of just the fact he went for stage dive and the work he actually did with it really assisted him with that game. But, you know, who was personally your favorite for that game?
I would probably have to go with New, but I mean, you know, the comments are going out already. So why not pass it over to Kit Fox, and he can decide for himself and, you know, talk about the chat.
Twitch chat was absolutely going off in that game, boys. What a match indeed. Well done to the boys for getting through. But in terms of the MVP, they seem to think New as well, but they're torn between New and Chop. Chop had some good run-ins with Moops we saw there, and some of those escapes, which is legendary. So we're going to go for the MVP nominee from the audience. Their suggestion is Chop.
Sure.
All right. Well, I mean,
pretty happy with that too.
Chop and New, definitely two ones to consider. I would actually have to give it with Chop. I mean, New made some great plays, but Chop, like you mentioned, that stun on Illidan,
beautiful,
amongst many of the other great stuns that he did combined with Illidan. Combined with ETC. Deary me, it's getting late tonight. ETC and Tehran, we said it from day one. We said it from the drafting screen. That's what they were looking to do. They made the plays, and they carried their team to victory. So, well done to Chop, who finds himself also added to the Plantronics MVP award, as he'll go into the draw to win a Plantronics Rig 500 HD headset at the end of the Fire and Ice series. Starving.
Indeed. And I mean, you know what? Why not pass it to Kip Fox? We're probably going to be waiting for the last game here. And see you soon.
Thanks, boys, across the ditch there in NZ. We're back here in Oz now. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. up very, very soon. We have got the Mac Daddy, the big one, the grand final. It is going to be Fission versus Negative Synergy, arguably the best team in Oz at the moment. They came into this competition seated at number 1, and they've done that justice, having not dropped a match all night. And we'll see if they continue that streak and take away 50 big ones coming up on the Gamestar Heroes of the Storm Ember Series.